So we're going to get a little nostalgic in this video, and we're going to go back to checking out an article and revisiting something that I followed heavily earlier on this year, which is the Fani Willis trial against Donald Trump in her attempt to get him on RICO charges, right? If you're not familiar, Fani Willis was basically put in her position as district attorney in Georgia to go after Donald Trump, in my opinion, right? She has denied a lot of the accusations that have been thrown at her as far as her relationship with the top prosecutor that she hired, Nathan Wade. Originally, it was that they weren't romantic. That was disproven in that they were romantic. At the time, they went on multiple trips together, paid for by him, which essentially was her going on trips, paid for by him, that, you know, after he had made nearly $1 million, I think it was $750,000, trying to get Donald Trump, right? So she hired him, and then he takes her on trips, and now, and that whole time, they maintained the position that they had not met with Joe Biden or anyone at the White House to discuss this matter. But now, here we're going to have a look at this article from the Daily Mail. What Fani Willis's lover Nathan Wade stunningly admitted to Congress about Trump prosecution. Here, let me add a little window down in the corner so you guys can see me. So basically, Nathan Wade admitted to Congress that he was in on a plot with his lover, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis, to take down Donald Trump. Republicans subpoenaed Wade to get to the bottom of his involvement in the politicized prosecution of the ex-president led by Willis. Now, I'll sidetrack a little bit. This was their attempt to try to get Donald Trump off the ballot. They were trying to make it so that he would either be in jail or just basically be deemed unfit to be on the Republican ticket, which has failed. The judge has postponed and dismissed a lot of things. Mainly the thing that was dismissed was the phone call. Everybody remembers the phone call where supposedly Donald Trump asked I believe it was governor at the time, to come up with votes for Donald Trump after the 2020 election, when he said the statement, "Find me the votes," when the reality is he was saying, "Find me the votes that actually existed. Make sure that every vote is counted," right? And so let's continue. The pair has been engulfed in scandal since the romantic and financial affair came to light after Willis appointed Wade special prosecutor in the Georgia 2020 election interference case against Trump. According to a transcript of his closed-door deposition before the House Judiciary Committee last week, reviewed by the dailymail.com, or dailymail.com, I always add the for some reason, but Wade said he was on a search committee to find prosecutors to go after Trump, because essentially, apparently not every prosecutor wanted to be in on it, right? And he sensationally admitted the committee was set up well before Willis took the DA office on January 1st, 2021, revealing she had a long-planned plot to take down Trump. And I believe she was one of these people that actually ran on "I'll get Trump" before being elected, much like Letitia James and some of these others. The two used to speak daily, disclosed Wade, as she considered candidates for the top role, which she eventually gave to him despite their ongoing affair. Oh yeah, that's right. He was also married at the time to a different woman, and I think he might even still be married, but Wade was still married to his now ex-wife of 26 years, Jocelyn, until their divorce finalized in July. Okay, so we were tasked with trying to identify someone who would serve as lead counsel on the election interference investigation, he said. Eventually, I guess the committee turned their guns on me and started trying to convince me to accept the role, Wade admitted. He confirmed that the outreach occurred after the 2020 election, prior to Willis taking office as the district attorney. Willis eventually secured an indictment for Trump and 18 of his GOP allies in August of 2023 that the former president had blasted as a hoax and a scam, which, in my opinion, it 100% absolutely was. And it's crazy that she spent over 2 years trying to put this case together, meanwhile not doing her job as district attorney, in my opinion, for the citizens of Fulton County, but trying real cases, you know what I'm saying? But the case had been on hold since June while a Georgia appeals court considers whether Willis should be disqualified over alleged misconduct tied to her romantic relationship with Wade, who stepped down in March due to the scandal. Wade was basically forced to step down because the judge ruled that either he or Fani Willis had to step down, that they both could not pursue the case against Donald Trump. And of course, Fani Willis being the ongoing active district attorney for Fulton County and Wade just being the top prosecuting attorney, Fani Willis was going to maintain that position. So Wade was essentially forced to step down, and he did. Wade also said that he had met with several officials in the Biden-Harris White House on at least 2 occasions. Now, this is a big turn of events because the whole time they admitted, after being accused and denying, that they went to the White House to discuss these types of things with the Biden-Harris White House. Now, Wade, like I was saying, I'll just read it from the beginning. Wade also said that he met with several officials in the Biden-Harris White House on at least 2 occasions. So now it's 2 occasions he's admitting that he had met with people at the White House after denying it for so long. But he did not elaborate on those meetings, skirting direct questions about the nature of the visits with official White House staff, including individuals in the White House counsel's office. I wish he would name those people. But, you know, he has to be feeling a little bit scorned considering he was kicked off this case. But, you know, the $750,000 he was paid of taxpayer money with after, you know, additionally delivered no results. So basically he just got paid almost $1 million to do nothing. I guess that's a nice little golden parachute to, you know, stay quiet or at least try to play cover up for Fani Willis and the White House and everything like that. But Wade also confirmed that he had meetings with the January 6th Congressional Committee, but he did not provide details. You remember them? The January 6th Congressional Committee, who was put together of a bunch of Democrats, and I think it was 1 or 2 rhinos that basically hated Donald Trump, and they tried to say that it was bipartisan. Yeah, the ones that deleted or somehow lost all of their investigation, all of their files, everything like that. once the Republicans won the majority in the House. Yeah, those people, that committee. The House Judiciary Committee has called Willis' election interference case against Trump politicized after it was revealed that 2 were dating as recently as last year. So, of course, they're going to try to play the victims, Fani Willis and Nathan Wade, even though they are the ones that were in the romantic relationship and broke, you know, conduct, essentially, you know, had a huge conflict of interest and in multiple ways. But the committee said he managed to get out of answering their questions by saying he couldn't recall or remember nearly 60 times during the closed-door session. And if you remember or you weren't watching at the time, that was something that he did pretty regularly on the stand when he was being questioned by prosecutors against him, you know, lawyers that were representing Donald Trump and the judge himself. He just conveniently couldn't recall a lot of things. And that's just a lousy way of basically, you know, not pleading the fifth. But if you can't recall, you can't recall, and they can't force you to come up with an answer. So it's a sleazy way, a workaround of not answering a question when it comes to being in court. But according to the transcript, he also admitted that he had no qualifications for the special prosecutor position that Willis appointed him to. That was another thing. He had only tried like 3 or 4, I don't even know, I can't remember exactly, it's been a little while, but he had never tried a RICO case in the history. And basically, from what I remember, he was doing like traffic tickets and things that were pretty baseline, you know, attorney type stuff, which is probably why, additionally to his relationship with Fani Willis, why he decided to take this case, because it was a big break for him. And apparently he spurned questions about the personal nature of his relationship with Willis, which everybody knows they were engaged in this personal relationship while he was cheating on his wife. But, you know, he just still doesn't want to answer any of the questions, you know. But the committee lawyers asked Wade if he was ever concerned that if his relationship became public, it would cause an issue with the case, which he then responded, "So now I'm getting confused because I didn't think I was coming here to answer questions about my personal life." He fired back. Of course you are, man. It's relative to the case. So, you know, it's funny how these people are so smart, yet they're so dumb at the same time. It's just quite rather convenient, right? I mean, give me a break. But Donald Trump has claimed that Willis is attempting to interfere with the 2020 vote after he pleaded not guilty to racketeering and other charges for allegedly attempting to overthrow the 2020 election in the swing state. That was the phone call, right? The phone call I meant to mention was thrown out by the judge. He threw out that what Donald Trump said was a perfect phone call, which it was. It had multiple lawyers involved. It wasn't just this one-on-one call that Donald Trump made to the Georgia, I believe it was the governor, which obviously was being recorded at the time. I mean, a lot of people want to say that Donald Trump is this idiot, but the reality is he's pretty dang smart. And he knew, and he obviously wasn't doing what they accused him of doing. So continuing, the case has been on hold since June while a Georgia appeals court considers whether the lead prosecutor Willis should be disqualified over alleged misconduct tied to her romantic relationship with Wade, who stepped down in March, which, she's probably going to lose her next bid to retain this position. So once she loses that, then she'll basically be unable to pursue with this case. So it's becoming a moot issue, in my opinion. I'm not sure exactly how long the terms are, but they said that she won it in the 2020 election, which we're now in 2024. I'm sure that the term is 4 years. That's just my assumption, but I think it's a pretty safe assumption. I don't think there's a 6-year term or something like that for these district attorneys, but maybe. I could be wrong. But earlier this month, Republicans tried to serve a subpoena to Wade, but they had no idea where he was. He said in the transcript that he had turned his phone off in order to take a few days to take care of his ankle after a sprain and also prep for a meditation and arbitration he had coming up. Oh, mediation, excuse me. Meditation. He's prepping for meditation. No, he was prepping for a mediation and arbitration he had coming up. Willis has said her fling with Wade was a thing of the past, but police body cam footage showed them together when Willis's daughter, Kenaya, was arrested on August 24th of 2024. So maybe they are still together, or they still have some type of personal connection after claiming that their relationship has been broken up for a while. I mean, that's a new revelation in the case to my knowledge. But Trump has accused Willis of a display of racial animus towards him and has called her case a calculated effort to bring flack against him and away from herself. Well, but Trump has accused Willis of a display of racial animus towards him and has called her case a calculated effort to bring flack against him and away from herself. I think originally it was just to try to stop Trump from being on the ballot, and now she's trying to protect herself. But the pair looked remarkably like a couple over the summer, and police body cam footage obtained exclusively by DailyMail.com filmed together at the scene of her pregnant daughter's arrest for allegedly driving with a suspended license. The footage shows them arriving in a black Ford SUV before approaching a group of cops at the roadside in Tyrone, Georgia. I'll maybe grant them the benefit of the doubt because that's right up Nathan Wade's alley. He does like traffic stuff, he's pretty basic and when it comes to the attorney stuff, from what I understand, at least prior to this attempted charge of RICO against Donald Trump and 18 other candidates. Or 18 other associates. But continuing, the officers mistake the pair for Kenaya's mom and dad, but Willis corrects them, describing 51-year-old Wade, who stepped down as her special prosecutor when the affair came under public scrutiny, as just a friend. Maybe it's a friend with benefits. I don't know. Still, in my opinion, a conflict of interest. If these people are best friends or if they're lovers, you can't hire people that you know in order to prosecute a former president of the United States. As far as, you can, is if you know them professionally, but when you've been intimate like these two have, it's obviously a conflict of interest. And once it's publicly out there, you have to just call it what it is, right? And so anyways, that's the update. Nathan Wade has admitted to Congress that he met with the Biden administration's White House 2 times after publicly denying it. And I'm not 100% sure about this, but they might have actually denied it in court as well. So there might be some type of perjury or necessary go back and change your statement type of scenario when it comes to this RICO case against Donald Trump. It's completely falling apart. It's been nonsense since the beginning, and it's been operated by corrupt, fools. Only a fool would try to get Donald Trump on something like this when he obviously didn't have any RICO violations, didn't commit any RICO violations. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's not my typical video format anymore. It's kind of a kickback to what I started off with. But if you enjoy this, if you'd like to see more, news coverage like this, let me know in the comments, because this is something that I actually do enjoy. And if you've made it this far, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video, all that good type of stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.